Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel Geeta UK Diaries, and this video is going to be for those people who are not nurses but they are in medical field like occupational therapists, radiographers, physiotherapists, theatre technicians. This video is for all of them who have been constantly asking me if they want to come here and work in UK, what the whole process is about and how they are going to make it in UK. So this video is for them, and if you haven't subscribed for my channel, then please do it for more updates on the UK related news and how to get here and work here in UK. So stay tuned for the video. So as we all know that like for we nurses, if we want to work here in UK, we have to get ourselves registered with NMC, which is Nursing and Midwifery Council. So just like that, for these professions like occupational therapists, radiographers, physiotherapists, speech therapists, lab technicians and theatre technicians, they have to get themselves registered with the HCPC, which is a regulatory body for all of these professions which I have just mentioned about. So HCPC is Health and Care Professional Council. So this is the regulatory body for your profession in which you need to get yourself registered with it. So how you are going to get registered with it and what are the documents you will need, what are the English requirement, and what is the cost of the fees, what type of amount of fees you need. Let's start the whole process. The HCPC regulates and protects 15 professional titles which are arts therapist, biomedical scientist, chiropodist or podiatrist, clinical scientist, dietitians, hearing aid dispensers, occupational therapist, operating department practitioner, orthoptist, paramedics, physiotherapist, practitioner psychologist, prosthetist, orthotist, radiographers and speech and language therapists. So if your profession is one of them, you have to get yourself registered with the HCPC before you come here and work in UK. So now let me show you how you can apply in HCPC. How do you find HCPC and how do you apply? Then you will find a page, Health and Care Professional Council. So there you can see this whole page is all about the HCPC website. So if you click on the left hand side, there you will see registration. So if you click on registration option, the page will open like this, and then you will have everything you need to know about your registration. So you have to click on that and it will show you a window like this, getting on the register. So they have got two routes, which is application routes are two if you have studied in UK or whether you are an international candidate. So you have to select not the first one, you have to select the second one, which is the UK international route. So if you go down, you will see international applications. There if you click on it, you will find another page popping up out, international applications, where you can find all the eligibility criteria, how to apply for registrations, and if you click on that pages, it will subsequently give you more information about it. So let me just give you the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. So you have to be first of all studied outside the UK if you want to apply for HCPC register, and then your qualifications are outside. As obvious, I have already told you, you must not be registered with the HCPC previously, and you must have undergone training outside the UK, and your training and qualification must be relevant to one of the professions we regulate. So suppose if you are a lab technician, you can easily apply here because HCPC regulate this profession. So before you apply, you need to read all the instructions for international applications. There are some standards that you will need to meet if you want to apply for international application route. So there you can just see, and if you want to read it out, you can just click on these buttons and there the page will get open and you can read all the instructions, what are the standards they need to be there in their profession. So once you have read all these standards and instructions, you just go to how to apply, and there you can see there is an option, creating online application. So you just have to click on create an online application, and there you have an option coming up as sign up or sign in. So you have to sign up for this and you have to make your account. You will have to create an online account where you have to put all your details, all your documents. Now let me just show you what all documents you need. So the documents you need to prepare and certify are, first of all, you need a proof of your identity and address. So the proof of identity and address, you can have your valid passport, or either you can have your national identification number. So these are the two documents which you can upload and you have to certify them. And then, as I have already told you, for proof of address, you need any of the utility bill, which can be your electricity bill, gas bill, water bill, or you can have your driving license, or you can have either your bank passport book in which you have your address proof. So you can upload those documents in your proof of identity and proof of address. And if you have name change, then you can provide another documents, which can be your marriage certificates, that you have changed your name after marriage. And then you have to keep your details up to date. You have to give your valid contact number. Your up to date information need to be there. Then coming to providing translation. So if any of your document is in another language, you have to provide a valid translation you have to provide. And for certifying your documents, you need to have someone who can either be like from notary or from any lawyer, any teacher. He need to write in his own handwriting that I certified all these documents have been correct and I have seen the original copies, and then they have to sign it. So this can be the person, either any teacher, any lawyer, any notary person, and you have to mention that you don't have any relationship to the person who is certifying your documents. So this all you need in your certification text. And make sure that you properly do the certification text, because they need it in the person's handwriting, whoever is certifying your documents. So as I've already mentioned, it can be bank manager, it can be officer in the British Armed Forces, it can be any justices of the court. So it can be any other person, and you don't have any linked like relationship with that person. And then in documents you need to prepare and certify, you also have to download a form from the HCPC website, which will tell about your professional qualification, all the trainings you have taken. So that you have to download from their website the course information form. So you need your this form needs to be filled from your college or from wherever you have taken your diploma or your degree training. So this form has to be filled from that training institute. So in this form, if I'll click on it, it will get open up like this. You will have all the information regarding the course information form, in which your college will tell you like how many hours of studies you have taken, whether it was verbal, whether it was practical, how many hours have you spent during that course while taking the degree or the diploma. So as you can see, information we require in the course information form: detail of the overall learning outcomes for the qualification you were awarded, detail of the course specific learning outcomes for each element of the qualification you undertook, then details of the course content covered for each element of the qualification, the number of theoretical and practical hours for each course completed in the qualification, and the assessment methods used for each course in the qualification. So this information may be taken from a course syllabus, but must only include parts of the course which you undertook. The completed course information form must also bear the stamp or seal of the university or training institution, include contact details for the course administrator or another appropriate member of staff who may be contacted as part of the verification process, and include the signature of this contact. This can be any person who has a valid seal and signature. And then the HCPC will review your course information form, and according to it they will decide whether you are eligible to be on their register or not. So as you can see, there is a course information form download. So if you click on that course information form download, you will see that it will be there, and your college needs to fulfill that, and it should have a valid seal or stamp of your institute or any of your like principal, whoever was the dean or whoever was the head of your institution. So if I show you the form will be like this. So where for the first section you will have like your detail, candidate's detail, in which year you undertook the degree or diploma, and then in the second part it will be all your like how many theoretical hours you have attended, how many practical hours were there, what was the method of study, like whether it was assessed verbally, written, practical, and what was the learning outcome. So all this has to be filled from your institution from where you have taken your degree or diploma, and then it needs to be sealed, stamped, and then it has to be uploaded onto the HCPC website, where you will upload this form as a whole as a part of your documentation. Then coming to another important part of documentation, which is your certification of the English language proficiency. So all those people who are not from native English speaking country, like we from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, or any other country where English is not their first language, they need to pass an English language competency test, which can either be IELTS with scoring of 7 with no elements below 6.5. So that means you need to have a score of 7 with no elements in listening, reading, speaking, writing below 6.5, or either you can have a TOEFL in which you need to have 100 marks out of 120. And for speech and language therapists, it's a little bit higher. The score needs to be overall 8 with no element below 7.5, and the TOEFL score should be 118 out of 120. And for those who have already told you, like if you are a native English speaking country you are from, you don't need IELTS, or if you are from Switzerland, you don't need IELTS. But apart from other, you have to be taken a valid English language competency test, and you need to have a minimum of like 7, overall 7 with no less than 6.5, which is higher for the speech and speech therapists. So this is all you need, and then you need to give at the end a declaration where you need to say information that you give permission to verify your identity documents, you confirm your qualification, and you confirm your good standing character. So after you declare, you need to pay a scrutiny fees. So once you do your payment of scrutiny fees, then only your application will be processed. So the scrutiny fees, how much is the scrutiny fees? So scrutiny fees is almost pound 536 something. Let me just show you. So the scrutiny fees you have to pay at the end of your application is pound 539.65 for the assessment of your application, and you need to pay this fees using a World Pay gateway, which is safe and secure. So I think the link is valid till 72 hours. So within those 72 hours, you need to pay the scrutiny fees of 539.65 pounds, and then your application is all done. So if I just summarize it, like you have to first create an account, then you have to put your details, you have to put your qualifications, you have to put your professional experience, like where have you taken your experience, where are you currently working. You need to provide all your professional experience details. Then you have to provide your professional registration number, or if you are enrolled with any of the registration council back in your country, you have to provide that number as well. And then you have to provide your English language competency test document. Then you need to declare, and you need to pay the fees, and that's it. One thing you must keep in mind before you submit your application, please make sure that you have provided all the necessary information and that your documents are certified correctly. Because if you have any missing information, documentation, any certification, it can lead to delay of your application process. So what happens next? Once you submitted your application, you have paid the fees, it takes 15 days for HCPC to respond to your mail. So if you have submitted all your documents, necessary information correctly, then they are going to do the assessment and verification of your application process, which almost takes 2 to 3 months. But if you haven't submitted, any of the information is missing or any document is missing, then they will again mail you saying that this document is further needed, and then it's going to take a lot of time. So it's important you make sure that all the necessary information and document have been uploaded once you submit your applications. So once it's all been done, they will review your application, and once it's like all the documents are okay and they think that your qualification meets their standard criteria, then you will be on their register. And if something is missing, then they are going to ask again about the document, and if they think that your study or your experience is not up to their standard, then they are going to take a competency test, like they are just going to interview, and then on the basis of that they are going to put you on their register. So it's all done. There you go for your HCPC registration, and then you can work here in UK as a laboratory technician, medical theatre technician, radiographer, physiotherapist, occupational therapist, and so on. So friend, this is the whole process of applying in HCPC if you are in other medical profession other than the nursing, like you are in theatre technician, or you are a radiographer, physiotherapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist. So I have tried to make each and everything included in this video, but suppose if you have any doubts, you can just let me know in the comment section. And if you like my video, then please go and subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you can get all the notifications whenever I upload a new video. Stay tuned for my next videos and take care of your health. Bye.